Once again, you are all warmly welcome to Joshua Okwuwe online math channel. In this channel, we make mathematics easy for everyone to understand. Today, we're having another interesting topic in mathematics, which is factor, prime factors, and multiples. At the end of the lesson today, I will assure you that this topic will be as simple as ABCD to you if and only if you watch this video from beginning to the end. So please follow me now as I explain this in a simple terms to you. We'll talk about factors. Let's take the first one, factors. Factors. You keep on hearing this word in mathematics, factor, 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 factor. What does it mean? Simply put, factors or a factor is a number that can divide another number without a remainder. A factor is a number that can divide another number without a remainder. For instance, you have a question like this. What are the factors of, let's say, 12? What are the factors of 12? It means that what numbers will divide 12 without a remainder. Now, before I begin, let me quickly say this, that 1 is a factor of all number and every number is a factor of itself. That is, 1 can divide any number without a remainder and every number can divide itself without a remainder. So when you're thinking of a factor, that, mention 2 factors of any number, maybe in an exam or a test, say, mention 2 factors of this number. In fact, you don't need to stress yourself. First 2, without any stress, is 1 and itself. Now, other factors now comes, you now think along what other numbers will divide this number without a remainder. Now, if we're going to talk about 12, looking at 12, the first factor I want to think of is what? Is 1. 1 can divide 12 without a remainder, just like what I just said now. Now, is there another number? 2. Can 2 divide 12 without a remainder? Remember, from our divisibility rule, we said that a number is divisible by 2 if that number ends with 0 or an even number. So if you look at this is an even number. It ends with 2, which is an even number. Automatically, that means that 2 will divide 12 without a remainder. That means 2 is a factor of 12. 2. Now, also going back to our divisibility rule again, we mentioned that a number is divisible by 3, or 3 is a factor of a number if the sum of each digit is a multiple of 3. Now, look at it now. What is the sum of 12? 1 plus 3. 1 plus 2 is what? Is 3. Is 3 a multiple of 12? Yes. So 3 is also what? A factor. Now, the next number that I want to think again now is this. 4. Can 4 divide 12? Is 4 a factor of 12? How will I know? If I think 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12. Yes. So 4 is also a factor. 4 is also what? A factor of 12. 4 is also a factor of 12. So the next number that I want to think of now should be what? Looking at this. Remember, we said that a number is divisible by 6 if 2 and 3 can divide that number. So if 2 and 3 is a factor of 12, that means automatically that 6 also is also a factor of 12. Are you seeing where I'm getting my factors? That means that 6 also is a factor of 12 because 2 and 3, they are divisible by 12, or they are factors of 12. So that makes 6 a factor of 12 also. And of course, the next number that comes to our mind, or the last but not the least, is now what? 12 itself. And 12. So all these numbers you are seeing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12, they are all factors of 12. So simply put, when you're asked to look for a factor, just think of factor means a number that can divide another number without a remainder. So don't be confused. Say, what do you mean by factor? is not difficult. They are simply asking you, think of any number that would divide this number without a remainder. And from our divisibility rule, it will guide you to easily know some of the numbers that can divide another number without a remainder. Now, that is all about what? Factors. Factors. So any number you can think of, 16, 25, 30. So when you're asked to look for that, just think of what we just discussed now. Apply it in answering other question, and I will assure you, you will be able to get the factors of this number. The next one there is what? Prime factors. So we'll talk about prime factors. Prime factors. Prime factors. Now, what are prime factors? Remember, we said earlier in our previous video that a prime number is a number that has only two factors. That means 1 and itself. 1 and itself. So now, what do I mean by a prime factor? It means a prime factor means a factor that is a prime number. A factor of a number that is a prime number. Do you get that? For instance, now we have 12 now. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now the question is, what are the prime factors of 12? If you are asked what are the prime factors of 12, it simply means among these factors of 12, which of them is a prime number? Which of these numbers you are having here is a prime number? These factors. So when you are looking for prime factors, first thing first, you must know the factors before you now know what? The prime factors. So look at this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Which of these number is a prime number? Now let's look at them now. 1 is not a prime number. We talked about it earlier. 2 is a prime number because it has only two factors, which is what? 1 and itself. 3 is a prime number because it has only two factors, which are what? 1 and itself. What about 4? Is 4 a prime number? No. 4 is not a prime number because it has more than two factors. What about 6? It's not a prime number also because it has more than two factors. 12 also is not a prime number because it has more than two factors. So if you are asked, what are the prime factors? Prime factors of 12. What are the prime factors of 12? So what are the prime factors of 12? When we talk about the prime factors of 12, so you now say 12 prime factors of 12. They are what? So you go back to the factors. I'm just using 12 since we have 12 on our board as an example. It applies to other numbers, okay? So anytime you have to look for the prime factors of number first, try to get the factors of that number first. Then after getting the factors, then you now look at all the factors that you have mentioned and then bring out the ones that are what? Prime number among them. Just like what you're going to do now. So we identify that the prime factors of 12, they are what? 2 and 3. So 2 and 3. Just 2 and 3. It's only 2 and 3 that are prime numbers here. So in other words, so the prime factors of 12 are what? Are 2 and 3. So the prime factors of 12 are what? 2 and 3. That is it. Very simple. So anytime you hear the word prime factors, don't be confused. It's not difficult. It's very simple. So please watch this video over and over again and try to explain this to someone. You know, when you explain it to someone, you will understand better. Now, the last but not the least we are having here, we'll be talking about today is what? The multiples. What do you mean by multiples? For instance, you just say, mention the first 5 multiples of this number. When you hear the word like, it looks so ambiguous, like, multiple, what are they talking about? It's simple. It's not difficult at all. Multiples. When we say multiples, what do we mean? Multiples. Multiples of a number is just simply adding that number by itself. Adding the number by itself. For instance, 2 now. The first multiple of 2 is what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Just like that. Are you following us? So anytime you are asked to find the multiples of a number, just start multiplying that number by, you start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just continue like that. For instance, I ask you, what are the multiples of the number 2? So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10, just like that. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. Just like that. Mention the first 5 multiples of 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times 3, 15. Just like that. So the number, adding it to itself. So another shortcut you can get there, for instance, I say, what are the first, let me say, 3 multiples of what number we choose now? Let's say of 5. What are the first 3 multiples of what? Of 5. You can also find the first 20 multiples of 5. It doesn't matter. Or we can just say, what is the 17th multiple of 6? What is the 17th multiple of 6? Don't worry, it's not difficult, it's very simple. They are simply asking you to do what? Just say 6 times 17. We'll give it to you. Just for instance, I want to get the first 3 multiples of 5. Look at what I'm going to do now. Solution. Now, look at 5. Multiple of 5. Look at what I'm going to do. The first one will be what? 5 times 1. The next one will be what? 5 times 2. The next one will be what? 5 times 3. And so on and so forth. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times 3, 15. And so on and so forth. Are you following? So if the question says list the first 5 multiples, so you do them like you list them out. If the question say what is, so they just want you to tell them the number. They want to know that number. What is the 7th multiple of 6? So simple, you just do what? 6 times 7 will give you the 7th multiple of that very particular number. For example, if I want to know the 4th multiple of 5, what will I do? I will say 5 times 4, which is what? Which is 20. I hope with this explanation, you can easily explain what the factors are, what prime factors are, and what multiples are. I want to believe you enjoyed the video. Please remember, watch this video over and over again from beginning to the end. I want to assure you that if you do that with an open heart, knowing that mathematics is very simple and enjoyable, you will understand this and you should be able to explain it to anyone at every point in time. Once again, if you enjoy what you have learned today, don't forget to click the like button, share this video with your friends, and most especially, don't forget to click on your subscription button. Subscribe to our channel so that anytime we post new videos like this, you get a notification on your phone. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.